Bore da, croeso I nôl. Good morning and welcome back to Nick at Nova Adventures. Today is a very stormy Saturday. Very high winds in West Wales and is set to be the same throughout the day today. So we are going on another urban explore. We found this property some weeks ago. We are going to protect the identity of the property. You join me parked up close to where we are going to urban explore this property. As I said, it is empty and there is a load of stuff I think that we can see and that you'll see along with me. I am in a village not too far away from home and we won't have any commentary going and leading up to the property because the wind is a beast today. It's about 40 to 50 mile an hour plus. So, yeah, we better get on. That's the view that we have. We are on a country road, hopefully not too much traffic about today. And just before we start this one, the news coming out of rural West Wales yesterday, Friday afternoon, was that Highmead School in Llanybydder has been on fire. Hopefully it is only confined to the swimming pool and the gym or the hall area. That's what it looks like. The cause is unknown, possibly vandals. I wouldn't say urban explorers because true urban explorers don't break in, don't cause damage, they don't take stuff, and they certainly don't set fire to buildings. So the part of what I do is to have a look at the building and contents, and that is purely it. Nothing taken away bar photos and video. And if it hasn't been urban explored before, then we do our utmost best to protect the location and the property itself. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So hopefully you can hear me over the wind. We are a bit sheltered by that house. That's the one we're getting into. As you can see, it is in a poor state of repair. The roof is starting to come apart with missing slates, hanging gutter, rotten barge and fascia boards, missing hip tiles, and the front porch is absolutely rotten. And yep, that's what we're going to get into, and this is where we came in, but our entrance point is going to be entirely in a different location. Okay, so we are in and we have found this straight away. Look at that. Wow. And I say this house is full of stuff just everywhere. Plates on the wall, and that is the first room that we're going to have a look in and then see where we can get from there. Okay, let's get on. Having got in, we are in the front room, currently standing on what I think is an organ. Oh my god, what a state. There is just stuff piled everywhere. Wow. And look at these gems on the walls like that. Probably not worth anything. Dewch I ddysgu Cymraeg. Come and learn Welsh book there. Wow. Okay, we're going to venture in and see what we can find. Treading very carefully. Wow. You can hardly see the floor, but there is stuff everywhere. Look, it's just been abandoned. Look, wow, a cupboard full of stuff collected over the years. I'm not even sure what. Oh, it's a knife set, knife and fork set. Pottery, this large shell on the top here. We have a diary going back to 1982, all in Welsh. Very sad, but again, we're not going to take anything away from this property. We are just going to have a look around and document it. Look at this. This is the old way you used to view photos. There we are, you can just about see it there, but that is St. Lucia, the West Indies, and there's a whole box of these photo slides in there. Oh my god, what a lot of history, and we haven't even started yet. We found a box, and it contains pellets and shotgun cartridges, as you can see there. Oh my god, that is the craziest thing I have ever found, apart from the diaries and other photos of nudity. What a desperate plight. Anyway, we're going to put them back where we found them and carry on. You can see this room is absolutely piled high. It would take forever and a day to go through it. We are on the only bit of floor space that we can stand on safely, and as you can see, the bay window there is collapsing, and I put bars on the windows, like there we are, you can see them, and that was to stop the kids coming in. And I've opened this drawer, and what have we seen in this drawer? That looks like sea flares. Yep, Para Red Mark III. So we're going to close that drawer very carefully and go to the next room. Again, a look at the state of the floor. There is just, again, stuff absolutely everywhere. So, okay, right, let's get to the next room. Oh my god, look at that. The ceiling there is collapsing, look. Hopefully we'll get up the stairs, but there's another room just over to your right there, and this is the rear of the house. So this would have led to a rear portion of the house that has been not demolished, but has been left to fall down, and that is the front. There's a suit there, look, and just look, stuff everywhere. There is a poster for Nevern Castle Barbecue, which dates back to 2023. Okay, we're going to have a quick look. There's a guitar there, look. Just going to have a quick look in here and see what we can find. Now, I found in the front porch, in a telephone book, some pornographic stuff, and look at that. This house is full of it. Pornographic material. I'm not going to show you too much in there, but yeah, what a sad life this guy must have lived, to have, you know, been a recluse because of what the kids were doing to him, and you know, he found solace in pornographic magazines. Oh my god, we haven't been upstairs yet. I feel a bit uneasy, to be honest. I'm not sure. I think the gentleman was in a home and died in the home and not here. And look, there's a book, How Clean Is Your House? Kim Woodburn and Aggie Mackenzie. And the tapestry on the wall there. And then a cabinet down here full of knick-knacks. And that's where we've come in, look. And wow, a grandfather clock. We'll get a close-up of that on the way back out, and another tapestry on the wall. Oh, what a crying shame, but look at this room. It's halfway full of stuff, literally everywhere. And look, a shield there. There is another room over the back there, but I'm not sure we can even get to it safely. Let's have a look. Oh my god. No, and I'm not sure what's in there. We can't really get in there, I don't think. It just looks to be boxes, but look at the stuff on the floor. There's an old fireplace over there. Okay, right, we're gonna get some photos and get out of this room, and I think we are going to head upstairs. So as you see, that says Elizabeth Evans. Let's have a look. I might get a bit of glare, so excuse the glare. Elizabeth Evans work, June 28th, 1859, aged 16. Wow, look at that. Crazy. Again, really does warrant saving, doesn't it? And I suppose the VR there with the crest look is reference to Queen Victoria. So having done that room, we now go upstairs, and again, look, the stairs is just full of stuff, isn't it? Definitely a recluse. We are going to go up here very carefully because we don't know what the floors are like going up. And there looks to be a third floor, and there are paintings on the wall up here. We're just getting onto the half landing now. And there we go, look, there's a painting on the wall there of a ship. And there are some very old paintings up there. And above that door is a plaque with Reg Spirit on it, and another grandfather clock up on the landing there, look, and you can see that the ceiling is being damaged by those broken slates on the roof, causing water ingress. And again, look at it, just absolutely full of stuff. Okay, bloody hell. Okay, so you'll see some close-up photos of those paintings at the end of this vlog. I can't make out, there is a signature right in the corner there, and we can't see on that one. See, there's more rooms through there. Oh my god. There we are, there's a close-up of the ceiling above my head. Just so much stuff here. I dread to think what is on those videos. Oh, look at those. Oh god. You know, this is never going to be preserved, is it? And there is the grandfather clock. Yeah, with a sad face on it there, look. And obviously very old, and the longer it is left in here, the worse it will get. It is a shame that there are no relatives to clean this house out and save what they can. Well, again, as we expected, another room absolutely full of stuff. So we've got a photo of that teapot there. There's another teapot in there, and we will put these back. We don't take anything away from these places, just photos and memories. And look at this, an MG 181. Wow, look at that. Oh, now it would be a shame if this gets into the wrong hands. You almost want to take it away, don't you? Because, you know, if vandals get hold of that, that will be gone forever. Oh shit. I am, believe it or not crying, but I am so emotional for this one. There we are, we'll put that back where it belongs, look, and there's another 2 teapots on that cabinet there. Let's have a look at that one, see if we can get, there we are, look. Wow. And then there's another one here. Wow. I'm not into antiques, but stuff like that, you know, what a crying shame. And I've just noticed, if I can get the torch, there's a cupboard here, and I think it's full of clothes. Yes. I can't open it too much There we are. There's belts, ties, yeah, even that one's got sailing boats on it, look. Fucking hell. So anyway, we've got some photos of this. Time to get out of this room and get into the next room. Again, there's a print or a painting on there. And look, there's one there on the wall as well. Just get that in the shot. And then look, there is a map of Wales on the wall by there. And more shields up on that dado rail. Okay, right, into this room, and we've got a box that has postcards and address books. Yeah, and then if we can get round here, another teapot in there, look. Let's get that out and have a look at it. There we are, look, another teapot. And then an old lamp in there. And then into what would have been the bathroom. Again, full of absolutely anything and everything. Right, we better, oh, there's a map there with pins in it. Now what those pins depict, I don't know. And obviously there's England there because there's London, and they look to be marked on mostly coastal regions, which would have tied into this gentleman being on the high seas. There we are. Okay, right, let's turn the torch off and get into the next room. Again, absolutely full of stuff, look. And we've picked this thing up. Again, we won't take it with us. Let's get it into the light as much as we can. There we are, look at that. Looks to be a candle holder. And look at the detail on that. I would have thought that this would have come from afar, from a foreign land. It doesn't look like it's from the UK, just with what's on it. Wow. Right, I don't think there's especially much to see in this room apart from that. Oh, that weighs a ton. There's cupboards there, look, there's just stuff everywhere, isn't there? We can't even get down there, look. So, wow. Okay, right. More things to find. There we are, look, we found that paraffin or oil lamp, and then old oak rum in that. Oh my god, crazy. And then there are drawers there with stuff in it. We ventured into this room because we just saw stuff, so again we are in a little bit of a patch where we can stand. That chair there is probably worth quite a bit of money. Wow. And then we've got wooden spoon rack down there. Sorry for the action camera in the shot. And then we've got more reference to pornographic material. Okay, time to get out of this room now. And then again, there is that candlestick holder. And that is the front of the house. And then that is the side. Right, we've done the front of the house. Oh my god. Right. Oh, not a clue what that was. So there's a hat there, look. And look into the front of the house over there on the landing. It'll be full of stuff again, isn't it? Box room. Can't really see too much in there. Again, the ceiling has broken. The lath has come away, or the plaster has come away from the lath, purely water damage. Okay, yeah, doesn't look like there's anything really of interest in that room. Again, we've got stuff everywhere, look, even up the stairs, which leads up to the attic. Not sure if we can get up there. Again, more reference to pornographic material. And alongside that, we have the Book of Mormon. I'm not sure they would agree with the pornographic material. Right, let's see what's up the staircase. We've got this interesting box here. I shall have a look what's in that for sure. It's got the key, original key to it. There's nothing in it, but you can see how ornate that box is. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a shame. As you can see then, we've made it into the attic, and you can hear that wind is howling. So there are a few books up here, but doesn't look to be anything of worth or of interest. So we're going to close the hatch and get back down. Okay, hopefully we can have a couple of external photos, but I think this one has been urban explored. And hope you've enjoyed this one. If you'd like to do all the good stuff for me, like, share, subscribe, etc, etc, that would be amazing. And even a like will help the algorithms of the channel and help me grow just a little bit more than I currently am. Okay, right, let's go back down through the house and get out of here. In amongst all the carnage, we have found Sean Corden, or to everybody else, Santa Claus or Father Christmas. So we shall put him back in his box. He came out from that box there, and some of the old light fittings. So yeah, crazy. Okay, it is raining outside by the looks of things, and as you can hear, the wind is howling. So okay, it is time to leave this one here